Hi, and welcome to this week's Stalking the Wild Autoharp. This week is a follow-up on last week when I started teaching the blues, and I told you I was going to add a minor chord to it today, and so we're going to do that. And this one gives sort of a boogie-woogie feel to the blues. And I should say that there are several different styles of blues. Actually lots of different styles, and each one of them has their own particular cliches that make up that particular style. And so you don't want to use all of these little tricks in all of your blues. You want to pick them so that they give you the flavor according to the kind of blues that you want to emulate. So, in this lesson, I'm going to be doing it in D. All right. So we're going to be using a D. Oops, sorry, that's an A. Here, we're going to be using a D, and we're going to use a D7, and we're going to use a G and a G7. So we're going to call that 1 and 1-7, and 4 and 4-7. All right. So in this style, we're going to add a minor to each one. So, for example, with the 1 chord, which is comprised of both the 1 and the 1-7, we're going to throw a B minor in there too. Okay, which is the 6 chord, or the relative minor. Okay. So we're going to go D, B minor, D7, B minor, D. All right. So we go 1, 6, 1-7, 6, 1. I'll do it again. 1, 6, 1-7, 6, 1. Okay? Now if you chop each one 2 times, it gives you that sound. Now take all of your fingers and shift them over 1. You should have used 3 separate fingers for each of those chords, the 1, the 6, and the 1-7. You're going to then shift all 3 fingers over 1 bar to catch the 4 chord, which is 4 or C, and its relative minor, E minor. Excuse me, it's not C, it's G. The 4 chord is G, not C. So G, E minor, and then G7. And then back to E minor and G. And all of those 3 combined make up your 4 chord. All right? So the 1 chord is D, B minor, and D7. And the 4 chord is a combination of G, E minor, and G7. All right, so we go 1, and then shift over for the 4 chord. And then shift back for the 1 chord again. Now shift the other direction to the A, the F sharp minor, and the A7. And then jump over the 1, clear over to the 4, and do the 4 chord again. And then back to the 1. So that's a little tricky spot where you jump from the 1 chord, or the 5 chord, A, to the 4 chord, G, because you have to skip over that D button in the middle. All right? And I'm using shorthand here in saying the D button because it's really all 3 buttons that you're using. You're using D, B minor, and D7 as the 1 chord. You're using G, E minor, and G7 as the 4 chord, and you're using A, F sharp minor, and A7 as the 5 chord. All right, so we go 1, 4, back to the 1. And then 5, skip to the 4, 1. And you can actually toggle back and forth between the 7th chord and the minor chord in each of those configurations, and you'll get okay, now try it in other keys too. You can do it in G, for example. So you're going to use G and D and C and its corresponding, all of its corresponding parallel minors and sevenths. So start on G, E minor, G7, G, and then you change to C, A minor, and C7. Okay, then you go to G, or excuse me, D, for the 5 chord, and then the 4 chord is C, G. Try it in A, try it in C, whatever groups of chords where you have all of those chords, because now all of a sudden for a 3 chord song you're using 9 chord bars. Alright, now my blues can take up to 18 chord bars. Alright, so we're not there yet. Okay, so hang with me for a few more weeks while we do more blues. But this, I told you this week we would add the minor for the boogie woogie, and that's what we did. Alright, so I hope you practice it. I hope you learn this because it's a lot of fun playing blues. So I'm Hal Weeks, and we're Stalking the Wild Autoharp. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.